Hey YouTube, it's me, Liz, back again. It's been a while. In fact, I think 2 and a bit weeks since I recorded my last little ramble, and it's because we have a new addition to my family. So if you've been following along on my email list, then you will know that 2.5 weeks ago we picked up a little fox terrier puppy, and I call her Ziva. And honestly, life has changed priorities just for a tiny bit because, of course, the puppy actually has quite a lot of demands. And I forgot how much work a little dog can take to make sure that we set them up for success. And then, like everything in life, you can always see and find parallels. So, for example, one of the first things we need to do is get the dog used to its new surroundings and also get it trained, particularly toilet training, and then also things like how to cope with the cat, because we have a 19-year-old Tonkinese cat, which is why we got a puppy and not an older dog, because I knew that he would accept a puppy much easier than he would accept an older dog. So that's also something we have to do. And then just the basic training that she needs to understand. So simple things like sit, stay, down, bow, roll over, come, all of those things. And on top of all of that, I of course live on a farm with horses. So I had to also start to get her socialized to the fact that she's going to become my barn companion as well. So she'll be up and down to the horses with me. And that's going to require her to have some horse sense. He's the cat actually, as well as everything else she needs to be aware of. And the parallels with building your business are super strong. It's very interesting to me because you need to stay calm. There's no point losing your shit or getting angry or being frustrated because she doesn't understand that. And it's the same thing for your business. When you start to get angry or frustrated at your business because it's not creating or giving you what you want it to give, you have a decision to make. You can decide that it's just because it's you've gone either too fast or things aren't gelling correctly, or that you just need to reflect. And I find that when you're training a dog, you have to be incredibly consistent. You have to also do a lot of repetition because it's the repetition where she learns. And more importantly, and I think this one is a fascinating one because what I see a lot of my clients doing is feast or famine. They're either all in or they're all out. They're not consistent across the board. And so, again, when you're training your puppy, training your horse, getting fit, learning to do a new skill, it doesn't really matter. It's always the same thing, little and often and frequent. That's the fastest, quickest way to growth for anything. Lots of practices, and you're going to get it wrong before you're going to get it right. And that's the beauty of it. And that I think is something that a lot of newbie business owners and guys, I call newbies, people who have yet to make consistent revenue. What do I mean by consistent revenue? You should be aiming to make X amount per month religiously. So whether that for you is 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, it doesn't matter what that number is. When you're starting out, you will have a number. And again, just like I've explained with the puppy training, don't expect them to be able to stay put for an hour like you would a very trained dog. She will stay for 30 seconds and that's good enough. So when you're starting out, if you've never run a business before, if you've never built something from scratch before, please don't think you're going to make 100K in your first year. That expectation is going to kill you. The only people that I see making six figures in their first year are those who have already learnt sales and marketing, because those two skills are what creates clients. Unfortunately, the people that I love and get to work with the most are people probably exactly like you, right? You are passionate about who you help and how you help them. You have the skill set to help somebody really transform and change their lives. But if you cannot sell and market and attract to them, getting them to be a client in the first place is the first hurdle. You have to overcome that. And so this is where I think you're far more wise to sit there and go, okay, if I've made no money yet in my business and I want to help people, the more people I get to help, the more experience I'm going to get, the more information I'm going to receive, i.e., your clients are going to tell you what works, what doesn't work for them. You're going to be able to figure out, okay, if I have this type of client, I need to do A, B, and C to get them a result, or this type needs to be X, Y, and Z. The more information that you gather in that way, the better your marketing becomes. The better your marketing becomes, the more people you can attract into your world. And it's bite-sized chunks, right? I cannot emphasize that enough. There is a big difference between working with 10 people to working with 100 people to working with 1,000 people. As those numbers go up and the more people you get to work with and help goes up, the clearer you're going to become, the more understanding of what you need to say in order to get somebody to listen and feel heard in your marketing so that you can then pitch and make them an offer to work with you. All of that becomes so much simpler the more people you help. So back to the money side of things. So yeah, you could go and charge X thousands of dollars, but if you're not selling it, that's not as important as working with people. Pro bono is great. Most coaching schools will tell you to start pro bono, do 6 weeks with 6 people. Yes, do it. But I always also think charging somebody a little bit of something is better than charging somebody nothing because a lot of people do not value free. We all want something for free, right? We all want it. It's just part of our natures. But unfortunately, if we have no skin in the game, it's very hard to stay focused. So that's where I think charge something, but really concentrate on the fact that the more people you get to help, the more skill you get to build, the more messaging information you're going to receive from them because you're going to understand their problem better, their symptoms, the way they speak about what it is that ails them. All of that stuff goes into your messaging, which then helps you with your selling. And honestly, selling shouldn't be a difficult thing. So if you've got icky thoughts about it, that's where you've also got to do a lot of work because you should understand the value of the offer, the transformation. So how does that all relate back to Ziva, the little puppy? Every new command I teach her, I have to repeat it 5, 10, 15 times a day before it goes in. And I have to reward her, right? I can't just ask her a new thing and not reward her and tell her how brilliant she is. So that's the process. If you've been at this game for many years, if you are yet to truly know how to attract your right people and get them into your right offer, that's your work. That's your sit, your stay, your down. And honestly, the reward is the key. The reward isn't necessarily in signing somebody up or getting the money in your bank account. The reward is in learning the skill, developing the skill, understanding the discipline, the consistency, figuring out, well, how can I apply this knowledge every hour of a day? It's the key. And that's usually the breakthrough. And my final thought on this is to always think about this. How we do one thing is how we do everything. So if you can succeed in your life in one area, it can be transposed into your business, which is why I personally love helping people get physically fit. Because when you've been a couch potato and you have to actually start to move your body again, and all of us have to move our body. Motion is motion. Motion is lotion, I should say. The older you get, you've got to keep moving. Otherwise, you're going to seize up. So if you're getting fitter, you've got to fight your brain in that, right? Because your brain's going to tell you not to do it, to do what you've always done. Don't go out and run. Don't go and do that extra effort to get that extra fitness, because why would you do that? That's hard. That's difficult. That doesn't feel good. But if you can conquer it in that area, you can bring that back into your business. Whew, how's that back for a ramble? So if this was useful, as always, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. And if you know somebody who is trying to improve their life and trying to outperform the way that they think, which is really all we're trying to all do, then let them know I exist. That's how we all get to grow our channels. And I really want to help more people. So if you know of anybody who could listen into my ramblings, send them my way. Otherwise, have a blessed day, and remember, it's the small actions every single day that create the big rewards at the end of it. So get to work. See you later.